All right, now we'll look at the topic of vectors. Some quantities are measured using only their magnitudes, relative size of an object or numerical quantity, like time, length, and mass. Use units like seconds, feet, and kilograms, respectively. These are what we call scalars. A vector quantity has both magnitude and direction, and it can be represented by a directed line segment. Therefore, a vector is a quantity having direction as well as magnitude, especially as to determine the position of one point in space relative to another. And in order to measure quantities like displacement, velocity, and force, we need to describe a magnitude and a direction, which describes a vector. Here's some examples of some vectors. We look at vectors with displacement. An object moves a certain distance in a certain direction. A hiker follows a trail 5 miles to the west. That's an example can be shown with a vector, right? We have magnitude, we have the length that was traveled, 5 miles, and we have the direction, went 5 miles to the west. So again, there's the two quantities, the magnitude and the direction that makes up the vector. Again, which can be represented with a directed line segment, right? Line segment showing the length of 5 miles, right? And there's the direction, which is heading to the west. Velocity is another example. An object that travels in a certain speed in a certain amount of time. For example, a breeze is blowing 15 miles per hour, right? That would be the magnitude, the velocity, right, of the wind velocity. And it's blowing from the northwest, which gives us our direction. So there are two quantities needed to define our vector. Or as we talk about force, a push or pull exerted on an object in a certain direction. For example, a force of 200 pounds, there's your magnitude, your weight, is required to pull a car up a 30-degree incline, where there's your direction. So you've got your two quantities, your magnitude and direction, which defines your vector. All right, so again, you can see examples of vectors in these examples here at the beginning. All right, I want to take it a little bit further and talk about what it means for two vectors to be equal, equivalent vectors. So since vectors are defined by magnitude and direction, to be equal, they're going to have to both have the same magnitude and, of course, the same direction, right? So you can see that in these examples here with vectors AB and CD and OP and vector V. All right, in common vector names, we use boldface letters like vector V there. And the other vectors, of course, defined by their initial point, their starting point, and their ending point, point O and point P. Right, again, we have a directed line segment, which represents those vectors. But all of those are going the same direction. They all have the same length, which we can see looking at it. So let's take an example. Say we wanted to prove these vectors here. We got vector U, we got vector OR, and we got vector W. All right, so let's take a look at, right, these three vectors. Now, vector OR, I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. I'll call it vector V. Instead of going by the initial and terminal points, let's give it a name there with vector V. Well, with vector U, right, we can see our directed line segment, right? Here's our initial point, and here's our terminal point, our ending point. With that said, let's find the magnitude, right? Let's find the length of that vector. So with that said, since we have the starting and ending point, right, we can easily find the length of that vector, the length of that line segment. And we can look at it if we need to, right, using Pythagorean theorem, right? We can look at our horizontal and vertical distance, right? If we're going from 2, 4 down to negative 1, 3, we're going down 1 unit on the y-axis, and we're going left 3 units, right, on the x-axis. Right? And of course, the length, right, the magnitude of vector u, right, which we'll abbreviate with these vertical bars. Our book uses the vertical bars there for magnitude of u. It's like our absolute value bar. All right, but these are our magnitude. So we look at that length, right? What would be the magnitude of vector u? Well, again, we want to find that, right? We could use Pythagorean theorem to prove it, right? We know that u squared equals, what, negative 3 squared plus negative 1 squared, which is equal to 9 plus 1, which is 10. And, of course, take the square root, and we'll have the length. So vector u has a magnitude of the square root of 10 units. There's its length, right? Down 1, left 3, right? We see our horizontal and vertical distance. And let's look at vector v. So we go to vector v, what would its magnitude be? Well, as we find the magnitude of vector v, right, what will it equal? Well, we know v squared. Again, we can draw in our right triangle from our starting point to our ending point. 0, 0, the origin point O, and the terminal point at R, -3, -1. Well, we're going 0, 0 down -3, -1. We're going down 1 unit. And again, we're going left 3 units. There's our vertical and horizontal distance. So with Pythagorean theorem, right, hypotenuse squared, side opposite 90-degree angle, equal to the sum of squares of 2 legs, right? -1 squared plus -3 squared, which is 1 plus 9, or 10. As we take the square root, right, of that side, you can see, right, our magnitude of vector v is also the square root of 10 units, so it does have the same length as vector u. And we can do the same thing for vector w. Starting point 4, -1, traveling down the terminal point of this directed line segment, which is 1, -2. Again, we're going down 1 unit on the y-axis, and we're going left 3 units. So again, if we're finding the magnitude, the length of vector w, right, w squared equals -1 squared, or -3 squared, plus -1 squared. So again, that's 9 plus 1, or 10. Right, and as we take the square root of both sides, magnitude of vector w is the square root of 10. So it has the same length. So yeah, the magnitudes, vectors u, v, and w, right, are all equal. Right, so they're all equal to each other, the lengths. So the same lengths, right, the same magnitude. Right, magnitude would be the length. Right, now as we go to direction, so do they have the same direction? That's our next quantity we got to look at, right? As we're looking at proving a vector is equivalent, it has to have the same magnitude and the same direction. So what was the direction? Well, again, with each of these line segments, right, we could define direction based off the slope of each, right? Your rise and your run between the starting point and terminal point. So, for example, if we look at the slope of vector u, right, what would it equal? It equals a rise down 1, left 3, right? -1 over -3, or 1/3. What's the slope of, erase that. All right, what's the slope of vector v? Well, slope of vector v, as we can see, is the same thing, right? Vector v, go back, which is vector OR in our drawing, we went down 1, left 3, right? Our rise over a run, our slope. And you see, of course, slope of vector w, we went same thing, down 1, left 3, 1/3. Again, slopes are the same, so same direction, yes. Same magnitudes, same direction. Yeah, we've got equivalent vectors, right? 3 vectors with the same length, same magnitude, and all 3 going the same direction.